Archangel Michael says, I have been waiting for 2 hours to tell you this. This is not a joke. A private investigator was caught open quick, Archangel Michael says, for 2 long hours I have been standing beside you, waiting for the moment you would see this message. My voice has echoed in silence, trying to break through the noise of your worries and fears. You were meant to know this truth before it was too late, and now heaven demands you listen without hesitation, Archangel Michael says. This is not a passing warning, not a simple whisper. It is a thunder that shakes the ground of destiny itself. A private investigator, hidden in the shadows, has been watching every move around your life. What they were hired to find out, and who sent them, will leave you breathless once the truth is revealed. For weeks, invisible eyes have trailed you, following paths you never imagined were under surveillance. This investigator carried documents, photos, and secrets about you that were never meant to be exposed. Now, finally, they have been caught, and the chain of events that follows will change your life forever. The moment they were caught, their words spilled out like a flood they could no longer contain. Names were spoken, places revealed, hidden intentions dragged into the light, but you, my dear, you are the one who must know first because this conspiracy revolves around you more than anyone else. Archangel Michael says, do not underestimate what I am about to tell you next. This private investigator was not an enemy on their own. They were a tool in the hands of someone who smiles in your face but hides daggers behind their back. You have shared moments, trusted words, even memories with this person, never suspecting their betrayal. The investigator admitted they were paid to dig deep into your personal world, uncovering truths that were meant to be yours alone. They followed you in silence, capturing pieces of your life, piecing together a puzzle that someone else wanted to control. Their purpose was not protection but destruction. The plan went far beyond curiosity. It was meant to dismantle your happiness, ruin your reputation, and steal what belongs to you. They wanted to know your weaknesses, your secrets, your hidden strengths, so they could twist them into chains. But heaven has intervened, exposing them before the final strike could land. Even now, there are people trembling because this investigator's capture has blown their dark plans wide open. They fear that the truth will reach you in time, that you will know the faces of those who plotted behind your back. This message is the bridge between their secret darkness and your coming freedom, Archangel Michael says. When they were caught, they carried an envelope sealed with urgency. Inside were photos, recorded conversations, and documents that could have shifted your destiny if left in their hands. One particular page carried your name in bold red ink, circled as if you were a target in their crosshairs. The moment that envelope was opened, a chilling realization spread through the room. You have been marked, not for justice but for manipulation, for control that no soul should endure. This was not a simple investigation, it was an orchestrated attempt to strip you of choices, to silence your voice. But heaven does not allow chains to hold its chosen ones for long. The private investigator, now caught, has started to unravel the truth with fear trembling in their voice. They confess that they were not working alone, and that the mastermind behind this is someone you know, a person whose face would shock you. Every hidden move, every shadowed step, every whispered order has been traced back to this person. And while they believed they could hide behind money and deceit, the divine light has dragged their schemes into full exposure. This is why I have waited for 2 long hours to finally deliver this message directly to you. Archangel Michael says, the most disturbing part of this revelation is not just the betrayal but the timing. This was meant to reach its peak in the coming days, a moment when you would be most vulnerable. They planned to strike when you least expected it, thinking you would have no way to defend yourself. But the divine clock runs differently than theirs. Fate has shifted, and because this investigator was caught early, their entire structure of lies is crumbling. They can no longer hide, and soon their name will be spoken aloud for all to hear. You must understand, this was not a random act of spying. It was deeply personal, fueled by jealousy and fear of your strength. The more you rose, the more threatened they became, and so they planted eyes in your life to track and control every movement you made. Yet, destiny has chosen to protect you. Forces unseen have worked tirelessly to make sure this web of deceit was torn before it could choke your future. This message is proof that heaven is not silent. And justice has begun its march toward you. Archangel Michael says, I see your heart beating faster as you hear these words, sensing the weight of what is being revealed. Do not be afraid of knowing the truth. It is the shield that will guard you from further harm. Secrets only a power in the dark, but once exposed, they wither like dust in the sun. Now that the investigator is caught, hidden doors are swinging open, revealing conversations and deals that were never meant for your ears. Some of these truths will hurt, but they will also free you from false bonds that have held you captive far too long. The mastermind behind this will soon be exposed, unable to hide behind masks of innocence. Their fear is growing because they know this message will give you strength to confront them, to reclaim what they tried to steal. They underestimated you, believing you would never learn the truth. But divine hands have shifted the tide. What was meant to harm you is turning into your shield. What was planned to break you will now elevate you higher than those who plotted in the dark could ever reach. Archangel Michael says, even as you read this, ripples are forming around your life. Some people are restless, trying to cover their tracks, knowing the investigator's capture has ended their silence. Phones are ringing, whispers spreading, but none can undo the divine exposure that has begun. This revelation is not meant to bring fear but awakening. You were chosen to rise above deceit, to stand in the power that truth brings. The very forces that hunted you are now being hunted themselves by light that cannot be extinguished. Do not ignore this moment, for it is rare and divinely timed. A turning point has arrived where justice begins to balance the scales in your favor. You are not alone. Heaven's armies stand behind you, ensuring no harm touches you again without consequence. Even the investigator, now trembling, has felt the weight of divine conviction. Their confessions are pouring out, piece by piece, revealing not only betrayal but also a path toward restoration and protection for you. Archangel Michael says, prepare yourself for what comes next. A storm of truth is about to break, clearing away falses that clouded your path. The names involved will shock you, but knowing them will free you. From this moment forward, your steps will no longer be monitored in secret. No more hidden eyes, no more silent observers waiting to strike. The chains have been broken, and those who tried to use them will soon be held accountable. This divine intervention is a promise that your destiny cannot be stolen. No plot, no investigator, no hidden scheme can rewrite what heaven has written for you. You were always meant to rise, and this exposure is proof that the divine hand is guiding every step you take. Remember, this is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a new chapter where truth and light lead you forward without fear. Archangel Michael says, "Stand firm now, for the truth will arrive at your door sooner than you expect." Documents, testimonies, and undeniable evidence will reach your hands, revealing every shadowed plan against you. And when it does, you will no longer walk with questions but with certainty and power. Heaven has orchestrated this moment to protect you, to keep you from falling into traps that were set long before you noticed them. The private investigator's capture is not an accident. It is divine timing ensuring you survive and thrive beyond this storm. And as this unfolds, know that the divine keeps watch without rest. I, Michael, will not leave your side as the revelations pour in. Justice will not only be spoken but seen, felt, and lived in your life. Soon, your enemies will stand exposed, and those who truly love you will stand closer than ever before, knowing your strength has only grown from this trial. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $1.20. Archangel Michael says, after this revelation begins to unfold, a new silence will fall. Not the silence of secrets, but the quiet that comes when darkness retreats. Those who once whispered behind closed doors will lose their voice. Their plans will collapse like brittle walls struck by divine thunder. Even now, forces are moving in your favor. People who were once loyal to the wrong cause are stepping forward, confessing truths they can no longer hold inside. These confessions will link together like a chain, leading straight to the source of betrayal. You will soon witness a moment where everything they plotted turns back on them. Their schemes were meant to trap you, but instead, they have built their own prison. The private investigator's testimony is only the beginning. A flood of revelations is coming next, Archangel Michael says. As this truth grows louder, you must be prepared for sudden changes. People you thought were allies may be revealed as hidden threats. Others, whom you thought had turned against you, will prove themselves as protectors when the truth is fully known. There will be a moment when you feel overwhelmed by the depth of deception that surrounded you. Do not let fear take root. Remember that these shadows are being exposed because you are strong enough to face them and rise above them. Heaven has seen your battles, your sleepless nights, and your cries for clarity. This intervention is not random. It is the answer to prayers you whispered when you thought no one was listening. Now, the divine voice is speaking loud and clear. You are protected. The person who set this investigation into motion underestimated both you and the heavenly forces guiding you. They believed earthly tricks and silent observers could outwit destiny itself. But destiny bows only to divine power, and that power is standing guard over you. Even now, light is spreading into places where darkness thought it was safe. Hidden evidence is being uncovered. Messages are being recovered. And every piece of this puzzle is moving toward a single conclusion: your victory. Archangel Michael says, prepare to witness people's masks falling off one by one. Some will try to deny their involvement, some will flee, but none will escape the reach of truth. This exposure is not just about stopping harm. It is about restoring what was stolen from you. The investigator's confession has opened a locked door. And through it flows redemption for you. Financial losses, emotional pain, broken trust, all of it is beginning to heal as the forces of justice reclaim what belongs to you. You will soon hear words you never thought possible: apologies, admissions, and even public declarations of your innocence. Those who tried to tarnish your name will watch helplessly as divine hands wash it clean in front of all who doubted you. Your story is shifting, moving from betrayal to triumph. What was meant to destroy you is becoming a testimony of resilience and divine favor that no human hand can undo. Archangel Michael says, there will be signs that this shift is underway. Unexpected messages will reach you. Doors once closed will suddenly open, and people you've long suspected of hiding something will reveal their true colors. When this happens, do not rush. Do not fear, stand in the calm strength that divine protection gives you. Every revelation is a step closer to the full restoration of your life and destiny. This moment is not just about exposing evil, it is about awakening you to the powerful shield that surrounds you. No matter how close the betrayal came, it could not take your soul, your spirit, or your purpose. And soon, you will see the hand of heaven not only protecting you but lifting you higher than before, placing you beyond the reach of those who tried to pull you down. Archangel Michael says, as the chain of revelations continues to break open, you will notice tension in the air around you. People will avoid your eyes, conversations will stop when you walk into a room, and whispers will rise like smoke from hidden fires. These are signs that the guilty know exposure is near. Even the investigator, now in the hands of justice, cannot hold back the storm. Your voice is trembling but relentless as they release every hidden detail. This is no longer a silent secret, it is a rapidly spreading truth, moving faster than anyone can contain. Soon, there will be meetings, hurried attempts to fix what cannot be fixed. Those who thought they had the power to manipulate your fate will begin turning against each other. They will fight over who is to blame, revealing even more secrets in their desperation. Archangel Michael says, you must not fear these ripples of chaos. They are not meant for you, they are the undoing of those who plotted in darkness. Stand steady, for divine light will ensure that none of their collapsing schemes touch you again. There will be a day soon when you hear your name spoken in places where you once heard only lies. Truth will echo through halls of power, through conversations that were once hostile, and through hearts that doubted you. The web of deception is breaking strand by strand. The investigator's confession has already opened the floodgates, every hidden account, every covert message, every stolen document is now surfacing, piecing together a picture that clears your name completely. People who stood silently will now step forward to defend you. They were once afraid, but with the investigator caught, their fear has transformed into courage. One by one, voices will join to stand beside you, and soon, the chorus of truth will be impossible to silence. Archangel Michael says, the heavens rejoice because justice that was delayed is finally arriving. This moment has been written in divine time, ensuring that not only will you be cleared, but you will rise to a position stronger than before. Even as you breathe now, there are divine forces moving pieces you cannot yet see. Documents are being delivered into safe hands. Conversations are being recorded to ensure nothing is hidden again. Every attempt to erase evidence is failing under the watch of unseen protectors. This exposure will not just touch one person. It will stretch further than you imagine, reaching those who thought they were untouchable. Those who believed they could watch you from the shadows will be dragged into the open, unable to hide any longer. And when their names are revealed, you will finally understand why your spirit has felt uneasy for so long. The dreams, the strange feelings of being watched, the whispers of warning, it was heaven trying to prepare you for this moment of truth. Archangel Michael says, you will not need to fight this battle alone. Divine justice does not call for you to strike, he calls for you to stand in unwavering faith as the truth defends itself through heavenly power. Soon, unexpected allies will appear, carrying information you never thought would surface. They will place in your hands the very tools needed to bring full closure to this ordeal. These are not coincidences. They are divinely orchestrated interventions. You will see even those who once doubted you bow their heads in apology. They will recognize the strength it took to endure this hidden betrayal, and they will honor you for standing firm when the world tried to bend you. Every tear you shed during this time was seen. Every prayer you whispered in silence was heard. This unveiling is not just justice. It is heaven's answer to every cry of your heart. Archangel Michael says, hold your head high. The one who ordered this investigation will try to disappear, but the divine will not let them escape. Their plans are undone, their mask removed, and their influence shattered forever. Archangel Michael says, the night they caught the private investigator, there was a silence so heavy it felt like time itself had stopped. Those who had orchestrated this surveillance were thrown into panic, knowing their carefully built deception was about to crumble. Every whispered conversation they had, every plan they made in darkness, is now racing toward the light. From the moment of capture, the investigators' hands trembled, eyes darting as though the weight of divine truth pressed upon their chest. They realized that not only had human justice found them, but heavenly judgment was present, making escape impossible. This is why confessions poured out, names, locations, hidden meetings, all spilling like water from a shattered vessel. Those confessions revealed a vast network of betrayal. It was not one person working alone, but several tied together by greed, jealousy, and fear of your destiny. Their intent was not simply to watch you, but to destroy opportunities meant for your future. Sabotaging blessings that were meant only for you. Archangel Michael says, now these dark alliances are turning on each other, accusations are flying between them, and in their desperation to protect themselves, they are exposing even deeper secrets. What they thought would remain hidden for years is being dismantled overnight. Even as you read this, officials are moving through locations where evidence was hidden, locked drawers are being opened, safes cracked, and encrypted files decrypted by divine timing. It is as if unseen hands guide every step, ensuring not a single piece of truth remains concealed. What they planned to do next would have been far worse if not stopped in time. They intended to twist your relationships, manipulate your finances, and even attempt to legally bind you into a trap you could not escape. But the heavens have intervened. None of these snares will hold you now. In the days ahead, you will begin to see news and messages reaching you about these exposures. People you never suspected will come forward with apologies, admitting they were pressured or deceived into standing against you. This is not weakness, it is part of the grand unraveling of this dark plot. Archangel Michael says, do not let anger consume you. This revelation is not to ignite vengeance, but to restore balance, to return everything stolen from you. What is coming is not just justice. It is divine compensation for every tear, every sleepless night, every heavy breath you endured in silence. The captured investigators spoke of documents that detailed every step of the plan against you. These documents hold signatures, forged instructions, and financial trails leading directly to the mastermind. They believed they had erased all traces, but divine hands preserved the proof for this very moment. Soon, you will hold these documents yourself. They will not only clear your name, but give you the power to reclaim what was unjustly taken. Your voice will no longer be silenced because truth will roar louder than every lie spoken against you. The person who initiated this investigation thought themselves untouchable, hidden behind influence and wealth, but no earthly power can outmaneuver the heavens. Their fall from power will be sudden, leaving them to face the weight of their own actions without shield or escape. Archangel Michael says, "This is the moment where divine light and human justice align. Everything you feared was happening behind closed doors will now be laid bare before you. It will be undeniable, and it will favor you completely." As this unfolds, your spirit will begin to feel lighter, the feeling of being watched, the sense of danger lurking unseen. It will fade because the source has been dismantled. What was once a constant shadow will be replaced with the warm presence of divine guardianship. Your future, once threatened by deceit, is being rebuilt on a foundation of truth and honor. Opportunities that were delayed or blocked will open again, wider than before. People who once doubted you will stand amazed, acknowledging that your resilience was not human alone. It was angelic protection shielding you. Even those who tried to destroy you will be forced to admit defeat. They will watch as the very blessings they tried to remove return to you multiplied. Every plot will backfire, and the higher powers they tried to mock will silence them completely. Archangel Michael says, "You are stepping into a new era of clarity and victory." The capture of this private investigator is not the end. It is the trumpet sound that announces the dawn of your vindication. Archangel Michael says, "It was as if an invisible presence swept in, truth, undeniable and sharp, slicing through every false story that had been spun against you." The weight of hidden betrayal that had clung to your life for months began to crumble in that single moment. They revealed how long this network had been operating. Quietly, without drawing attention, they collected your information, recorded private conversations, and followed your every move. But their mission was not their own. It was ordered, funded, and demanded by someone who fear which you were destined to become. Every step they took was calculated to make you doubt yourself. Every fabricated rumor, every strange coincidence, every opportunity that slipped through your hands, it was all part of this orchestrated trap. But now, with their capture, every lie is being pulled into the light. Archangel Michael says, "It is no accident this was stopped today. If it had gone any further, the damage would have been deep and lasting. Divine timing has cut this web before it could tighten around your life completely. This is mercy from the highest throne, delivered straight to you." Even as the investigator trembled, they provided names you recognize, faces you have seen, voices you have trusted. The shock of betrayal may sting, but knowing the truth is the first step toward your complete deliverance. These names are not distant strangers. They are people who walked close to you, smiled in your presence, and pretended to care. Yet behind closed doors, they fueled the very scheme meant to destroy you. The revelation of their identities will not only free you, but will reshape every bond and alliance in your life. You will soon understand why certain friendships felt hollow, why certain promises were broken, and why you sensed betrayal without proof. Heaven has preserved this moment so that when exposure came, it would be undeniable and irreversible. Archangel Michael says, be prepared for their attempts to twist this exposure in their favor. They will try to appear innocent, blaming others, feigning ignorance. But the captured investigator's testimony is fortified with divine truth. It cannot be undone, altered, or denied. Behind this entire network stands a single mind, the mastermind. This person watched from the highest seat of control, confident that no one could trace their intentions back to them. They used others as shields, believing layers of deception would hide them forever. But now, those shields are gone. The captured investigator has shattered the first barrier, exposing direct links to this mastermind. Their name is whispered now in rooms they once commanded, their power eroding as their plans collapse. This person feared you because of the light within you. They saw your destiny rising like dawn and knew that once you stepped into it fully, nothing they built in deceit could stand, so they struck first, weaving lies and sending eyes to follow you. Archangel Michael says, their fear will become their undoing. The very trap they set for you is transforming into the snare that will strip them of control. Justice is no longer coming slowly. It is charging like a storm that no human hand can stop. In the days ahead, divine intervention will not just reveal names but will bring about public acknowledgement of the truth. Authorities will be involved and their reach will extend further than anyone expected. This is not a hidden resolution. It will be seen, heard, and known by those who doubted you. You will not need to lift a finger to prove your innocence. Every attempt to paint you as guilty or weak is being shattered by undeniable evidence. What once required you to explain yourself will now be explained for you by the very ones who plotted against you. Expect sudden shifts, phone calls, letters, and encounters with people who were silent before but can no longer hold their tongues. Some will bring apologies, others will bring evidence, and together they will piece together the full picture of betrayal. Archangel Michael says, this is divine reversal. You were once surrounded by spies, but soon you will be surrounded by protectors. Where once you stood alone, now you will stand with heavenly power and earthly allies uniting to restore everything that was nearly stolen. Every step of your journey forward will be marked with signs of victory. The feelings of isolation, fear, and confusion will give way to clarity and empowerment. Even as you sleep, divine forces will be working, ensuring your safety and preparing the path ahead. Blessings that were delayed by this scheme will return to you multiplied. Relationships, finances, opportunities, all will be renewed and elevated, far beyond what they tried to take. Your enemies will witness this transformation but will be powerless to stop it. When they see you rise, they will know this victory did not come from human strength but from heavenly justice. This is the testimony that will silence every false word spoken against you. It will mark the beginning of a life no darkness can ever penetrate again. Archangel Michael says, remain steadfast, do not let fear or anger sway your steps. The same divine force that exposed this plot is carrying you toward a future shielded by truth, lit by light, and crowned with unstoppable destiny. Archangel Michael says, the truth does not stop once it begins to flow. It moves like a river, sweeping away every obstacle in its path. Since the private investigator's capture, more doors are opening. Hidden files locked away for years are surfacing, voices that were once silenced are finally speaking. And every shadowy corner is being lit by divine fire. This network of betrayal ran deep. Meetings were held in secret places, calls made late at night, and messages passed through hands that pretended innocence. But now, even the walls of those meeting rooms feel the weight of heavenly judgment. Conversations they thought were safe are being revealed, piece by piece, through confessions, recordings, and written proof. You will soon hear of a major turning point, a moment when the mastermind is confronted directly. They have spent years weaving lies, but when faced with undeniable evidence, their own allies will abandon them. The foundation they built on deception is cracking beneath their feet. Archangel Michael says, this moment will not only clear your name, but shift the balance of power entirely. Those who once stood against you will have no choice but to stand aside as divine justice moves through every layer of this plot. Even now, you may feel a stirring in your spirit, a knowing that something is about to break wide open. That feeling is not fear, it is divine preparation. You are being strengthened from within, readying you for a victory so complete it will silence even the loudest voices of doubt. The captured investigator has already provided critical information, hidden bank accounts, lists of payments made to keep the spying quiet, and messages that show exactly who ordered this invasion into your life. These are not rumors. They are solid, irrefutable facts that no one can erase. When these revelations reach the public eye, they will ripple through communities, businesses, and circles of influence you never expected. People will finally see who had been manipulating events from behind the scenes. And when they do, the shame will not fall on you, it will fall on the mastermind who tried to destroy you. Archangel Michael says, divine justice is precise. It does not miss, it does not delay, and it never loses its target. What was done to you will not only be undone, it will be reversed, restoring everything that was stolen and giving you even more than before. The coming days will feel like watching storm clouds part after years of darkness. Sunlight, truth, freedom, vindication, will break through in ways you cannot yet imagine. Each revelation will feel like a stone lifted from your shoulders, lightening the weight of betrayal you carried unknowingly. Former enemies will be forced to admit their wrongs publicly. Some will try to hide, but their names will be called out for all to hear. Others will try to bargain for forgiveness, but only divine will can decide how their stories end. You will witness a chain reaction. One confession will lead to another, one exposure will unravel more lies, until the entire structure built against you collapses completely, and when it does, it will not harm you, it will free you. Archangel Michael says, this freedom is not temporary, it is eternal. This intervention ensures you will never again be ensnared by the same forces. You are being lifted to a higher realm of protection where such schemes can never touch you again. The mastermind's fall will be sudden and undeniable. One moment they will appear powerful, untouchable, the next, they will stand stripped of every illusion of control. The evidence piling against them is not only from this investigator. It is coming from multiple directions, every piece guided by unseen hands toward your justice. When they are confronted, you will not need to speak a word. The truth will speak for you, louder than any accusation they made. Their attempts to frame you, to paint you as weak or unworthy, will dissolve in the face of divine proof. This downfall will be witnessed by many. Those who secretly supported you will rejoice openly, while those who mocked you will be left speechless. It will be clear to all that you were never alone, you were always protected by heavenly forces waiting for the perfect moment to act. Archangel Michael says, your vindication is not just personal, it is prophetic. It will stand as a testimony that no plot, no betrayal, and no earthly power can overcome the destiny sealed by divine authority. In the aftermath of this revelation, blessings long delayed will rush toward you. Doors that were slammed shut will swing wide open. Projects halted by sabotage will suddenly move forward, packed by support you never thought possible. Those who once hesitated to stand by you will seek your counsel and partnership, recognizing the divine favor upon your life. You will no longer walk in uncertainty but in undeniable purpose, every step guided by the same power that exposed this darkness. Financial restoration will follow as well. Every resource withheld from you through manipulation will return multiplied. Investment sabotage will find new life, and opportunities stolen will be replaced with ones far greater than the originals. Archangel Michael says, "This is divine compensation. It is not simply about balancing wrongs. It is about elevating you above every scheme meant to bring you down." This season of vindication will mark the beginning of a life where only truth and light surround you. Archangel Michael says, "The moment of full revelation is drawing nearer with every passing hour." The mastermind who once operated from the shadows is now feeling the walls close in. Every ally they once trusted is stepping away, unwilling to face the divine judgment that is catching up to them. When the investigator first confessed, they believed they could shield their employer. But as the divine hand pressed harder, fear overtook loyalty. Secrets that were meant to stay buried forever began to spill, naming each person involved and every malicious act they committed against you. This chain of truth is unstoppable. It began with a single captured observer and is now unraveling years of hidden deceit. Even those who thought they were safe, playing only minor roles, are being revealed one after another. None of them will escape this cleansing light. Archangel Michael says, "You will not need to search for the truth. It is coming to you." Documents, recordings, and testimonies are aligning like pieces of a puzzle, showing the entire picture of betrayal. And when you see it, you will finally understand why your path felt so heavy for so long. As these revelations surface, the mastermind's power will collapse swiftly, their wealth, connections, and influence. Everything they used to control others will vanish like smoke in a divine wind. The very people they manipulated will turn against them, desperate to save themselves from the consequences that await. In a public moment, undeniable and inescapable, the mastermind will be confronted. They will try to deny their involvement, but the evidence is too great. The private investigator's confession is supported by financial trails, hidden communications, and eyewitnesses who can no longer be silenced. When this confrontation happens, the truth will echo far beyond the walls of a courtroom or meeting hall. It will spread to every corner of your community, reaching ears that doubted you and silencing those who spoke against you. Archangel Michael says, "This is the divine verdict delivered on earth." It will not just restore what was lost, it will place you in a position where no one can ever again question your integrity or destiny. During this time, you will feel a shift in your spirit. The weight you carried unknowingly for years will lift completely. The fear of unseen watchers, of silent enemies plotting in the background, will disappear. You will move freely, unchained from every hidden bond that once restrained you. Friends who turned away from you will return, apologizing with sincerity. They will admit they were deceived by lies and manipulated by those in power. This moment will not only reconcile broken relationships, but will heal deep emotional wounds that have lingered within you. Even your own faith in yourself, shaken by these secret attacks, will be renewed. You will see that you were never weak or powerless. It was divine protection that carried you through every attempt to destroy you, keeping you standing until justice could be fully delivered. Archangel Michael says, "The heavens have seen every tear, every silent prayer for understanding." This vindication is heaven's way of declaring that your cries were heard and that your story will end not in defeat, but in glorious triumph. The exposure of the mastermind will trigger a divine turning point for others connected to this scheme. People who were used as pawns will awaken to the truth and step forward to seek your forgiveness. Some of them, feeling the weight of guilt, will even bring additional evidence to ensure justice is fully served. Authorities will act decisively. What was once ignored or overlooked will now receive immediate attention, backed by undeniable proof. Every attempt to cover tracks or delay the process will fail under the relentless force of divine timing. In this new era, you will not only be free from past plots, but will rise into a role of influence and leadership. Those who tried to silence you will see your voice amplified, speaking truth and light into spaces they tried to control. Archangel Michael says, this rise is not a mere reward. It is destiny fulfilling itself. You were always meant to shine brightly, to walk paths that others feared to tread, and now, no chain remains to hold you back from the future divinely written for you. A moment of final justice will be unmistakable. The news will spread rapidly, carry my voices that once ignored your struggles. The exposure will not only clear your name, but will become a story of hope for others who have suffered in silence under the weight of betrayal. People far beyond your immediate circle will be moved by your victory. They will see in you a living testimony of what divine intervention can do when truth and light are allowed to break through darkness. And through it all, you will feel a peace you have never known, a stillness in your soul that comes from knowing you were never abandoned, never forsaken. Every hidden plot was seen, every evil hand was counted, and every scheme was overturned for your good. Archangel Michael says, this chapter is closing not with fear or uncertainty, but with celebration and honor. The heavens rejoice as you step into this new life, shielded, restored, and lifted far beyond the reach of any who wished you harm. Archangel Michael says, the storm of divine justice is now at its peak. The mastermind who orchestrated every dark move against you is standing on the edge of exposure they cannot escape. What they feared the most, the collapse of their empire built on lies, is about to happen in full view of those they once controlled. The captured private investigator's testimony has been woven together with digital evidence, eyewitness accounts, and secret recordings that no one knew existed. It is as if unseen angels moved through every layer of deception, gathering proof and placing it into the hands of justice at the perfect moment. The mastermind's name is already circulating behind closed doors. In powerful places where they once commanded authority, whispers are rising louder. Soon, these whispers will become public declarations, stripping them of influence and forcing them into accountability. Archangel Michael says, no earthly lawyer, no clever words, no hidden deal can shield them now. What they sowed in secrecy will be harvested openly. Their betrayal of you has brought upon them a weight of divine judgment that will not lift until every wrong is made right. You will soon witness an event that marks the beginning of this final reckoning. It may come as a public announcement, a breaking news report, or a summons that changes everything in an instant. the moment it happens, you will feel a shift in the spiritual atmosphere around you. People will rush to share the news with you, and many will say they never believed this day would come. But heaven never doubted. The timing of this exposure was set long ago, and not even the most powerful hands could prevent it. As this unfolds, allies you never knew existed will rise to stand beside you. Individuals with influence and resources will step forward, not only to support you but to ensure this betrayal never happens again. Your protection is no longer invisible. It will be seen, heard, and felt by all. Archangel Michael says, this is not just a personal victory, it is divine justice reshaping everything around you. The darkness that tried to suffocate your destiny is being erased, replaced with light that will guide you into blessings no one can take. The mastermind's downfall will be dramatic. They will attempt to silence others, to hide evidence, and to manipulate outcomes, but each move will fail more spectacularly than the last. What they built to ensnare you has become a cage locking them in, and every attempt to escape only tightens the bars. Witnesses who once feared them will now speak boldly. Some will provide recordings of conversations where your name was plotted against. Others will reveal financial trails leading directly to underhanded dealings. One by one, every piece of their false empire will collapse. When the final evidence is presented, there will be no room for denial. Those who once defended them will turn away, ashamed to have been associated with their corruption. The very crowd they used to intimidate others will be the same crowd that watches them fall. Archangel Michael says, this is the divine mirror. They will see themselves clearly for the first time, stripped of all pretense. And in that moment, the world will see what heaven already knew: you were always the one standing in truth and righteousness. After this reckoning, a great restoration will begin in your life. People who distanced themselves during your trial will return, seeking reconciliation. Relationships broken by lies will be mended, stronger and more genuine than before. Trust will no longer be a fragile hope. It will be a fortified bond tested and proven by divine justice. Opportunities stolen from you will not just return, they will multiply. The divine has stored blessings during your period of struggle, and now, like floodgates opening, they will pour into your life in unstoppable abundance. Your reputation will shine brighter than ever. Where once your name was whispered in suspicion, it will now be spoken with honor. Even those who never knew you personally will hear your story and find courage in your victory. Archangel Michael says, this is more than justice, it is ascension. You are being elevated to heights you were destined to reach before betrayal sought to drag you down. Now, no force on earth can hinder you from walking fully in that divine purpose. The final stage of this transformation will be peace. After years of being watched, judged, and falsely accused, you will finally breathe freely. The feeling of unseen eyes on you, the constant weight of distrust and manipulation, will vanish completely. You will walk in new places without fear, speak without hesitation, and dream without limitation. The battle you endured has unlocked a higher level of spiritual protection that will remain with you for life. Your testimony will inspire many. People facing their own hidden battles will see in you a beacon of hope that divine intervention is real, that justice can come even when the world says it's impossible. You will become a symbol of triumph over darkness, proof that truth cannot be buried forever. Archangel Michael says, the heavens rejoice because you stood firm through trials that would have broken others. This final victory is not just for you, it is for everyone who believed in you, prayed for you, and waited for the day justice would rise. A day is now. Archangel Michael says. The moment of final triumph is close. The threads of betrayal that were once tightly wound around your life are unraveling completely. This is the dawn of a new chapter where nothing hidden remains, and every shadow is consumed by divine light. The mastermind who tried to watch, control, and destroy you is now surrounded by the truth they feared most. Your power has vanished like mist under the rising sun. Every alliance they built is crumbling, and even those who were silent accomplices are confessing to save themselves from the weight of justice that is closing in. In the highest places of authority, the name they used to intimidate others has lost all meaning. The false influence they carried had been stripped away by divine order. No negotiation, no manipulation, no human force can delay what is about to happen to them. Archangel Michael says, "This is the hand of heaven restoring balance. The lies that circled your name like chains have fallen to the ground. Your innocence shines brighter than ever, unshaken and undeniable." As news of this exposure spreads, you will begin to feel freedom in ways you never imagined. Doors that were locked for years will suddenly open. Conversations that once ended in silence or doubt will now flow with truth and support. The weight on your shoulders will lift completely. People who believed the lies about you will approach you with trembling voices, admitting their error and asking for forgiveness. Not because you demanded it, but because divine truth has moved their hearts. What was twisted against you is being straightened before your very eyes. You will walk into rooms where whispers once followed you, and instead of judgment, you will hear words of honor and respect. Even those who stood against you will acknowledge that you were protected by powers beyond their comprehension. Archangel Michael says, "This transformation is not temporary, it is permanent. Never again will you be bound by the same schemes or fall victim to hidden plots. The spiritual realm has fortified your life with a shield no darkness can penetrate. The restoration that follows will not only touch your name, but every area of your life. Financial stability, once threatened, will overflow with abundance. Opportunity denied will return multiplied. Relationships broken by lies will be healed or replaced by bonds forged in truth and trust. Your journey, filled with pain and silent endurance, will become a story that inspires countless others. People who have suffered similar betrayals will look to your victory as proof that justice can come, that darkness can be defeated, and that divine protection is unbreakable. Even as blessings pour in, you will remain grounded in gratitude. You will know that this triumph was not of human making, but a heavenly gift. Your heart will grow stronger, wiser, and filled with compassion for others walking paths like yours. Archangel Michael says, "This is your ascension. The forces that tried to crush you have only elevated you higher than you were ever meant to stand before. The divine has rewritten your story into one of undeniable triumph. When the final judgment falls upon the mastermind, it will be witnessed by many. They will have no chance to twist the narrative or escape accountability. The same evidence they once used to harm you will return as proof of their wrongdoing, leaving them powerless before divine justice. In that moment, you will not need revenge, because victory itself will be enough. The peace that comes from knowing you were protected all along will outweigh any desire to strike back. You will see that the divine's plan was always to restore you, not to let you fight alone. Afterward, you will step fully into your destiny, free from fear, doubt, and deception, your influence will grow, reaching places where your voice once could not go. People will seek your guidance, knowing that you have faced darkness and emerged with heavenly wisdom. Archangel Michael says, "The heavens will never stop watching over you, even as you rise to greater heights, angelic protection will surround you day and night. You will never again walk unnoticed or unguarded." This is the final word of this message: you are delivered. You are restored. And you are elevated beyond reach of all past harm. What was meant to destroy you has become the very foundation of your unshakable victory. From this day forward, every step you take will be under divine light. Every path you walk will lead to fulfillment and blessings no human hand can block. Every plot against you will fail before it begins, because heavenly forces now move faster than any earthly scheme. And as you stand in this victory, know that heaven rejoices, the angels sing, and divine justice has declared your name untouchable forever. Archangel Michael says, "Your story is no longer one of betrayal but of glory, a living testimony that truth always wins, darkness always falls, and destiny written by the divine can never be stolen." If you wish to express your support further,